All right, guys, yesterday we introduced ourselves to Kevin Henkes by looking through 2 of his texts. Today we're going to look through a 3rd text, and we're going to start to compare the similarities and contrast the differences between these characters that Kevin Henkes has created. So yesterday, everybody followed directions. Yes, and you didn't turn in your assignment. You saved it as a draft. So please scroll to that same assignment that we used yesterday. Plot and theme of Kevin Henkes' text. And we're going to open up the same response that you did. Okay? Open up that same response. So it says, today we're going to review the theme and retelling of Lily's Purple Plastic Purse and of Chester's Way. Okay, and we're going to compare and contrast them. All right. So if you would please, again, you're opening up that same response. So I'm going to click on my draft. I'm going to click on show draft and edit it. Okay. I am seeing on our screens over here that there are a lot of people whose seesaw is spinning and loading. So I understand that frustration. I see it. Give your computer a moment and you'll be able to get it under control. Okay. If you want to open up a new tab of Seesaw so that you have a second tab and you can do your reading, then we will get that set up and that'll work for you. That way you don't have to wait on that one. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Let's take a look at slide 5. That's where that stop sign was for you to stop. And slide 6 is where we are going to pick up today. So again, if your seesaw is spinning on uploading that, then go ahead and open up a new tab and get to this assignment. Okay. It says review the Swabust, Somebody Wanted But So Then, and theme of Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. Okay, so let's review your independent work yesterday. What did you guys figure out yesterday about Lily's Purple Plastic Purse? Somebody. Who are the characters in this text? Aiden G. Who are the characters in Lily's Purple Plastic Purse?
So there is Lily and her. So it's Lily and her teacher and her classmates.
Characters are Lily, her classmates, and her teacher. Do you remember her teacher's name? Mr. Sling.
Yeah, Mr. Sling.
Mr. Slinger. Yep, Mr. Slinger. So the characters are Lily, her classmates, and Mr. Slinger. Okay. Thank you, Aiden G. Wanted. What do the characters want or need? What did the characters want or need? Tim.
I didn't really get to this because I have to go to a funeral
You have to what?
today.
You're going to
get to Lily's Purple Plastic Purse because I had a funeral yesterday.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry that you had that in your life, kiddo. That's stressful. When you get time and you feel like you can focus, go ahead and review on that, okay? And then right now you can join us. Right now you can catch up with us, okay? All right, wanted. What did the character want?
She wanted to show her bag and stuff, the stuff that was in it, but her teacher, Mr. Slinger, she said you have to wait, and she didn't want to, so she did it anyway.
That's right. Lily wanted to show off her purse to her classmates. And I like the way that you brought in what the other character wanted as well. Mr. Slinger wanted her to wait. They both had a want, okay? They both needed something from each other, Okay, so Lily wanted to show off her purse. Mr. Slinger wanted her to wait. Again, we're reviewing. You completed this work yesterday. All right, but what went wrong? What happened to these characters? What went wrong? William, what went wrong?
What went wrong is Mr. Slinger took her purse away and she got in trouble.
Mr. Slinger took the purse away. And Lily was in trouble. Okay. So how did the characters respond? Miss Lily wasn't too kind. What was her response choice? What did she do in response? Terrence, what did Lily do in response when Mr. Slinger took her purse away?
What she did in response is she read a bad note to him.
Lily wrote a mean note about Mr. Slinger. There was a picture that was not too kind of him, and there were some words that weren't too nice. Then how does the story end? How is this problem solved? What do the characters do at the end? Who haven't I heard from? Levin, I don't think I've heard from you. My memory might be failing me though. How did the story end?
The story ended by Lily. What I said.
Love it. Going back to check your work.
Lily made snacks and drew a nice picture. She got to show her purse to the class.
All right. So she changed her mind. So Lily changed her mind and apologized. And Mr. Slinger let her show her purse. All right. Perfect. Okay, so in the end, both characters got what they wanted. They had a desire. Both characters ended up getting that desire. Very good. Okay, remember, this is review. This was your independent work yesterday. You're not copying me right now. If you had something different, that's okay. We know that you can focus on different parts of the story. Okay, so this is just a review. Therefore, I think the author wanted me to learn. Yesterday, you wrote down a theme. I want you to go tell your partner the theme that you came up with. What can we learn? What life lesson, what message, what theme can we learn from Lily's purple plastic purse? Okay. All right, so I'm interested. We know that a text can have more than one theme. I would be curious to know what themes you came up with for Lily's purple plastic purse. What can we learn from Lily and her adventures in her classroom? William, what might be a theme? What might the author want us to learn?
That was, don't get mad over something as little as a little purse. And he said he would give it back to her after school.
Okay, so you're giving some evidence for why you think that. So maybe we could say, try not to, we say, sweat the small stuff. So don't get too mad over little things. Don't get too stressed out over something pretty small, okay? So try not to sweat the small stuff. That's a great theme, okay? Lily got really mad over something that really wasn't a big deal. So try not to, or try to make your reactions match your problems. Levin, what could be another theme that we could learn from this?
Be considerate and listen of others.
Be considerate and listen to others, okay? Be considerate and listen to others, definitely. So Lily was not very considerate of what Mr. Slinger needed to do in the classroom, and she wasn't listening, and then that had a consequence, didn't it? Okay. Multiple themes that we can learn from these texts, okay? And there were plenty of others. Remember, this was review from yesterday. You do not have to type what I have here. These are just examples of what we did together, okay? Your work might be completely different.
Mrs. Word, please report to the office. Mrs. Word, please report to the office. Thank you.
As long as you are retelling the text and you can tell me why you think that's the theme, you're probably good, okay? All right, that takes us to slide 7. This is the part that we're going to focus on today. Go ahead and hop to slide 7, please. Our goal is to compare and contrast themes and plots of texts about like characters or by the same author. We know that both of these texts are about Kevin Hankey's, and we also know that both of these texts have little mice as characters, and Lily is in both of them, okay? So let's work on comparing and contrasting. When we compare out here, we're going to say what is different, and I want you to go ahead and write that with me. What is different about Chester's Way? Meaning, what can we learn only from Chester's Way? What are we going to read about only in Chester's Way? It's not in Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. And it's the same thing over here on this side. On this side, that outer part of the circle, oops, I misspelled the word different. That outer part of the circle is what is different or only found inside of Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, okay? I see hands up because you have ideas and I love it. We're gonna set up our work first and then we'll share those ideas, okay? In the middle on a Venn diagram, this is where we find out what's the same. So what is in both texts, okay? What events, what characters, what settings, what can we learn from both of those texts, okay? Now, we're comparing and contrasting, and I want you to highlight this, the themes and the plots. That means we are not going to say, oh, they both had grass in them. Look at the ground. That's true, but that's not a theme. That's not a lesson that we can learn. And that's not an event or a plot in the story, something that happened, okay? So we're comparing and contrasting the themes and the plots, not what we see with our eyes, not what we notice about pictures, about the theme, the messages we can learn, and the events in the story, okay? Everybody with me on that? So if you were going to say something like, they both had mice characters, that's not a theme. They both had mice, that's not a plot, that's not an event, that's not a beginning, middle, and end, okay? All right, so I want you to frame your mind and let's have a discussion here. What is different? What's something that was only in Chester's Way? If you have your hand up for something else, put it down. We're only going to talk about Chester's Way right now. Leah, the other L name, Leah.
That Lily puts on costumes.
Yeah, in this one, Lily puts on costumes. She didn't necessarily put on costumes inside of Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. So Lily wears costumes. Okay, that is a really important event inside of Chester's Way because her costume ends up saving Chester and Wilson from the older boys that were kind of picking on him. Okay, so that helps him out. What else is something that was different about Chester's Way, an event or a theme, something we can learn? Levin?
That in Chester's Way, Lily didn't have a purple plastic purse.
There was no purple plastic purse. That was a very big deal inside of Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. It was the title, right? So what we want to do there is we want to put that over here on Lily's purple plastic purse side. Okay, on a Venn diagram, we only talk about what is true for the side that it's on. So we're not going to say Lily wears costumes and then over here put Lily does not wear costumes, because duh, right? If she wears costumes over here, we know that she doesn't over there. That's why it's in the different section. Okay, so Levin, what I'm going to do with what you said is put it over here. Put it over here as Lily has a purple plastic purse. And remember, guys, I'm writing, you're writing. Okay, so over here, Lily has a purple plastic purse. Now look what we've done. We have shown what is different about what the characters have inside of the story. And these items are very important because they completely are involved in the story. Lily's costumes saved the boys and started their friendship. Lily's purple plastic purse was the whole reason we had a story. What I did not do was say Lily wears costumes. Lily doesn't wear costumes. Lily has a purple plastic purse. Lily doesn't have a purple plastic purse. The reason that we have these on the different side is because it's obvious that those are different. So we don't have to say what's not true about the other. Okay? So what we write in here is only what is true about each text. Okay? So Lily wears costumes. That's an event in Chester's Way. Lily has a plastic purple purse. That's an event in that text. What's the same? What's something that happens the same with Lily? What's something that Lily does the same, an event that is the same thing? William, what's something that Lily does in the plot that is the same?
She still talks to Chester and Wilson?
She does still have the friends. So yeah, they're all still friends. If Lily didn't have friends inside of Chester's Way, there wouldn't be a story. If Lily didn't have friends to show her purse to, there wouldn't be a story. So the fact that Lily has the same friend group is an important part of the plot. Okay, if those characters were not being friends inside of the text, then we wouldn't have a story in either book. Okay. I'll go ahead and put these in the chat here. I'll start with this one. So hopefully you should have the first one by now. Oops. Oops, that wasn't it. That was from our conundrum. There we go. All right. I want you to take a moment and I want you to go back and look at slides 2 and 4. I want you to read what you wrote yesterday. Look at your slides 2, look at your slides 4, and I want you to find something that is different between these texts. Something that is different. Okay? Find something that is different. Now, you have met with your breakout room partner. You have shared something that is different about each of the texts. I'd like to hear some of those now, and I'm going to record some of the ideas. Okay? So what did you find that was different about one text from the other, about the plot or the theme? William, what's something that was different and which book were you focusing on?
I'm focusing on Lily's purple plastic purse.
Okay.
Mr. Slinger. He was not mentioned in Chester's Way. He was mentioned in Lily's purple plastic purse. He was one of the main characters.
This
He
is why
was.
something exists.
Okay, and you're right. But remember, we're focusing on themes and plot. So what is something that Mr. Slinger did that was important?
He took away Lily's purple plastic purse.
Okay, so in Lily's purple plastic purse, Mr. Slinger was part of the problem. Okay, not part of the problem in Chester's Way. So we got to add to it. We're not just going to say the character's name. We got to add what they've done, something that's happened. Okay, so Mr. Slinger took Lily's purse, and that was the problem. Okay, so now help me out. I'm sure somebody thought of it. What was the problem in Chester's Way? So in Lily's purple plastic purse, the problem involved Mr. Slinger. Mr. Slinger wasn't in Chester's Way, so what was the problem there? Leah?
So what I wrote down in Chester's Way is Lily became friends with Chester and Wilson because she didn't become friends with Chester and Wilson in the plastic purple purse. She was already friends.
Perfect. So in Lily's purple plastic purse, that was probably after Chester's Way because she already knew those boys. So Chester's Way is how they met. So that came before the story in their lives. Great. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to push it right down here. So Lily met Chester and Wilson for the first time. Okay. In this text, we already know that they were friends, and we put that in the middle. Goodness gracious, I can't type. There we go. We put that in the same. Lily has the same friend group. In this text, they became friends. In this text, they already were friends. Let's focus back on that problem. In Lily's purple plastic purse, the problem is that Mr. Slinger took Lily's purse. That is not the problem in Chester's Way. What is the problem in Chester's Way? Terrence, what's the problem in Chester's Way?
So I think the problem is that that they didn't at first they didn't know Lily.
The boys did not know Lily, and if I remember correctly, they kind of avoided her, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, they hid from her. And I think one time, like, she was coming down the street and they ran to the other side. So they avoided her.
And that Lily is the same. And as the only thing that is different from when Lily was in purple plastic purse is when Lily was wearing, like, she looked more wearing normal stuff in Chester's Way.
Yeah. So in Chester's Way, we said that she had some costumes, and then here she's got her purse, and she still dresses. Look at that. She's got on red cowboy boots, a purple purse, lime green glasses. So she definitely still dresses a little bit different, right? She's got her own style to her for sure. Okay. Levin, something to add?
That's something, something different in between Lily's plastic purse and Chester's Way. That they were in Chester's Way, they were in the neighborhood playing together.
Okay, so our settings are different, and that is connected to our plot. Okay, the story took place in a neighborhood in Chester's Way. It took place in a school inside of Lily's purple plastic purse, and that changed the story. In Chester's Way, they didn't really have to listen to adults. In Lily's purple plastic purse, an adult was part of the problem, right? Because she didn't get to do what she wanted because the adult was in charge. So that setting changes the plot of the story. Awesome. Thank you, Levin. So let's add that in here. So in Chester's Way, in the neighborhood, And you know what? There were adults, right? The parents were talking about them, but they really didn't give them any directions. They were just like, oh, those kids, oh, they're so cute. There wasn't a lot of like, no, don't do this. In Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, there was an adult saying no. In the neighborhood with no adults, we'll put in charge in quotes. In charge. The kids were just kind of playing. They were making their own choices. Okay. In the neighborhood with no adults in charge. There you go. And the way that Lily's Purple Plastic Purse was different is that they were in a school and there was an adult in charge. In a school with a teacher in charge. Okay, awesome. All right, we are running out of time, but my gosh, we have so many ideas. I love it. Okay. We've talked about the themes or about the plot. We haven't talked about the themes. Okay, let's go back and see what we put. On slide 2, we tracked Chester's Way. And there we had a theme that you shouldn't judge people. A lot of you said don't judge a book by its cover, or don't judge someone before you know them, or don't judge someone by the way they look. So their theme was a lot about judgment, okay? On Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, our theme was a lot more about anger and management, right? And controlling our emotions. So those are two different themes, okay? So let's put that over here under Chester's Way. Under Chester's Way, let's put the theme is about judgment. Chester's Way, the theme is about judgment. And Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, our theme is about anger. So they had different topics for their themes. Okay. All right, let's move on from different. We are done with different. If you have more on your chart, wonderful. I can't wait to read it. I want to switch focus right now because we only have a few minutes left to what is the same. Okay. Now remember, what is the same about the themes and about the plots? We're not going to say things like they both had mice. Mice are characters. That's not the theme. That's not the plot. So it's got to be something that happened, something that was going on in the story. Okay, what's something that happened that was the same in both texts? Was the same. Terrence?
Something that was the same is that one of them, they both went their own ways.
They did. In Chester's Way, the boys like to do things their way. Lily liked to do things her way. And guess what? In Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, she still wanted to do things her way. She wanted to show her purse when she wanted to show it. So yes, so in both texts, Lily liked to do things her way. So Terrence did talk about a character, but he gave information about what the character did or how the character behaved. So that's in our plot, okay? In both texts, Lily liked to do things her way. William, what else might be the same in both texts?
Same is I think something the same would be they did the same things still. They still did the same things.
Who did the same things? And what are the same things?
Chester, Wilson, they gave each other the same things. They gave each other things that they think would be beneficial to each other.
Like what? What was beneficial in Chester's Way? I like where you're going. I want to talk it out. What was beneficial in Chester's Way?
Chester and Wilson gave her long shoelaces so she could double knot them so she wouldn't trip. And Chester and Wilson taught her how to do hand signals, and they had the same things, and they became great friends.
Perfect. And what did they give each other in Lily's plastic purple purse?
Nothing.
Okay. So is that the same?
No.
No. But you could put that on your different side, William. Okay. That was deep. You had some thoughts there. Other things that might be the same. You know what I noticed that was the same? I noticed this. Inside of Chester's Way, the theme was about judgment. Inside of Lily's purple plastic purse, the theme was about anger, right? Both of these themes could have been affected if they had worried about themselves, right? So if in Chester's Way, they had just said, you know what, I'm going to be cool. If she wants to be different, if he wants to be different, that's okay. And inside of Lily's plastic purple purse, if she would have just said, I can keep my purse to myself, I don't have to show it off to other people, I can be okay. So in both of these texts, the characters were worried about other people's thoughts. They didn't focus on themselves. Okay? They were trying to figure out what the right thing to do, or what other people would think is cool, or I want to make sure that people like this about me. They could have just worried about themselves. So that was something from both texts as well. Okay? All right, that is in the chat. Today, for your independent work, we are going to look at a third text of Kevin Henkes. This text is called Wimberly Worried. Okay? You will find the read aloud for this text on slide 8. So on slide 8, you'll click the link and listen to the story. On slide 9, you are going to track the swabust, somebody wanted but so then, and the theme. I am going to take a grade on this slide today. Okay, so I'm going to take a grade on this slide. Tomorrow, we are going to work on comparing all three texts. So tomorrow, we're going to talk about Chester's Way. We're going to compare it with Lily's purple plastic purse. We're going to compare it with Wimberly Worried. So you're going to use this work that you have today to help you with tomorrow's assignment, okay? So tomorrow's going to be very difficult if you don't have the information that we did together and the information that I'm asking you to do now, okay? Any questions about my expectations for your work on slide 9? Okay. When you finish with slide 9, I want you to take a look at slide 10. There is a video that I want you to watch for tomorrow. It's going to help you when we're talking about contrasting and comparing themes, which we're going to do tomorrow. Okay? So watch Wimberly Worried, track its information, watch video 10, click the green check. Okay? All righty.